Hi students, how are you all? I believe you are all keeping well. Well students, I welcome you back once again. And in today's session, we are going to begin with a new unit which is titled as Environment, and reading A deals with what is man without the beast. What is man without the beast? Now what do you understand by the word beast? Beast is any other animal except human beings. Okay, any animal except the human being. We are all social animals, right? So any other animal except human beings. Now what is a man without the beast? If all the beasts were gone, men would die from great loneliness of spirit. For whatever happens to beasts also happens to man. All things are interconnected. Okay, all things are interconnected. All things are like connected like blood which unites one family. Man is dependent on animals. Okay, man is dependent on animals. If beasts disappear, there is a damage to nature and in turn causes loss to man. So, without the beast, there is no man. Now you understand the title, right? What is man without the beast? Okay. Well, students, before we get into the lesson, let's know a little bit about the speaker. Okay, let's know a little bit about the speaker. The chief Seattle was a leader of Devonish and other Pacific Northwest tribes. The city of Seattle, Washington, bears his name. In 1854, Chief Seattle reluctantly agreed to sell tribal lands to the United States government and to move to government established reservations. Though the authenticity of the speech has been challenged, most agree that it contains the substance and perspective of Chief Seattle's attitude towards nature and the white race. So, the Chief Seattle was a leader of Devonish and the Pacific Northwest tribes. He was a leader of Devonish and Pacific Northwest tribes. And the city of Seattle, Washington bears his name. In 1854, the Chief Seattle reluctantly agreed. Now what is meant by reluctantly? Not willingly, with a hesitant. Okay. So reluctantly he agreed to sell tribal lands to the United States government. Okay. So he was unwilling to sell the tribal lands to the United States and move to the government established reservations. Okay, reservation is the act of keeping back or withholding or setting apart. Okay, so he was not willing to sell the tribal lands to the United States, but he agreed to sell the lands of the tribes to the United States and they moved to the government established reservations. Okay, though the authenticity of speech has been challenged. Now what is meant by authenticity is a genuineness, okay, or the quality of being authentic. Okay, now the authenticity of speech has been challenged. Most agree that it contains the substance and perspective of Chief Seattle's attitude towards nature and white race. Okay, it is actually the speech delivered to the whites when he was selling the lands of the tribals. Got it? People choose different ways to protect the environment. Here is a speech delivered by a Red Indian Chief Seattle more than a century ago to save his land. Okay, usually people use different ways and means to protect the environment. Okay, but here we have a speech delivered by Red Indian Chief Seattle. It was delivered more than a century ago to save his land. The speech was mainly on to save his land. Is it clear? Chief Seattle became world famous for a moving speech he made in 1854 just before his lands were taken from him and his people. Seattle's words resonate very well in the environmental community and are in fact considered to be something like a gospel of the green. So Chief Seattle was the leader of Devanish tribe, okay, and he became world famous for moving speech he made in 1854 at the time of giving away his people's land to United States government. Okay, he made or he delivered a speech. Okay, now Seattle's words resonate very well in the environmental community. Now, what is meant by resonate? Resonate is continue to have a powerful effect or value. So, Seattle's words have an effect or value very well in the environmental community and are in fact considered to be something like a gospel of the green. They are considered to be the gospel of the green. Now, why the Seattle's words are considered to be something like gospel of the green? Because his speech was completely based on saving his land, not to pollute it, to accept the nature as a god, to accept, that something exists in the land to consider as their brothers and sisters and to treat them well. Okay, so that's why his words were considered to be something like gospel of the green, not to pollute but to protect. Okay, how can you buy or sell the sky, the warmth of the land? The idea is strange to us. If we do not own the freshness of the air and the sparkle of water, how can you buy them from us? Okay, so the Chief Seattle says, how can we buy or sell the sky? Can we buy the sky or sell the sky? No. Or the warmth of the land. What is meant by warmth? The quality or state of being warm. Okay, the quality or state of being warm. Can we buy or sell the warmth of the land? So the idea is very, very strange. Now, if we do not own the freshness of the air, the sparkle of the water. Now, what is meant by sparkle? Shine brightly with the flashes of light. Now, if you do not own the freshness of the air and sparkle of the water, how can we buy and sell? Or how can you buy those from us? Okay. Every part of the earth is sacred to my people. Every shining pine needle, every sandy shore, every mist in the dark woods, every cleared and humming insect are holy in the memory and experience of my people. The sap which courses through the trees carries the memory and experience of my people. The sap which courses through the trees carries the memories of the red man. So what does Chief Seattle say in his speech? He says every part of the earth is sacred. Okay. Now what is meant by sacred? Holy. The meaning of sacred is holy. So every part of the earth is sacred to his people, and every shining pine needle. You know what is pine tree? Pine tree has like a sharp needles. If you look at the picture you will understand. Okay, so he says every shining pine needle, every sandy shore, every mist in the dark woods, every cleared and humming insects. Humming insects, you understand, insects that make noise, buzzing noise. Okay, so humming insects are holy in the memory and experience of my people. So the Chief Seattle says everything that exists in the land considered to be holy. Okay, whatever it is, it could be shining pine needles, sandy shore, mist, cleared and humming insects. Okay, all these he considered to be holy. Fine. The sap which courses through the trees carries a memory and experience of my people. What is meant by sap? It is a fluid that is produced by the tree. Okay, it's a fluid produced by the tree. So the sap which comes out of the tree carries the memories and experiences of his people. And he also says the sap which comes out of the trees carry the memories of the red man. Now who is the red man? Red man it is a contemptuous term used to refer to North American Indians. Okay, North American Indians. We are part of the earth and it is a part of us. The perfumed flowers are our sisters, the deer, the horse, the great eagle, these are our brothers. It's clear, right? So the Chief Seattle says that we are part of the earth and the earth is part of us. Okay? And the perfumed flowers are their sisters, the deer, the horse, the great eagle, these are our brothers. Okay, they don't consider them as animals, they consider them as their brothers and sisters. Okay, now what is meant by perfumed flowers? Having a pleasant scent or aroma, sweet smelling, sweet scented flowers. Okay, the rocky crests, the juices in the meadows, the body heat of the pony and the man all belong to the same family. Now, what is meant by rocky crests? Rocky crest is, the top of a mountain or hill. The top of a mountain or hill. Meadows. Meadow, it's a land that is covered with grass. Land that is covered with grass. So, the speaker, the Chief Seattle says, rocky crests, the juices in the meadows and the body heat of the pony. Pony is a horse of a small breed and the man all belong to the same family. Okay, so everything belongs to the same family. Clear? So when the great chief in the Washington sends word that he wishes to buy our land, he asks much of us. The great white chief sends word that he will reserve us a place so that we can live comfortably to ourselves. He will be our father and we will be his children. So we will consider your offer to buy land. Okay, now when the government of United States tries to buy the land from the tribals, they also assure them that they would give a land to live their life comfortably. Okay, that's what we see here. When the great chief in Washington sends word that he wishes to buy our land, he asks much of us. Okay, now the great white chief sends word that he will reserve us a place. Okay, that he would give us a place so that we can live comfortably to ourselves. Okay, now who are we here? Tribals. Okay, they could live comfortably to themselves because United States of government, when they buy the land from the tribals, they are going to give them some other land to live their life comfortably. Okay, and he also says he will be our father and we will be his children. Okay, so we will consider your offer to buy the land, but it will not be easy, for this land is sacred to us. This shining water that moves in the streams and rivers is not just water but the blood of our ancestors. Okay, so the Chief Seattle says, when he receives a word from the great chief from the Washington that they would like to buy the land, and they would be provided some other land to live their life comfortably. The Chief Seattle says it is not an easy thing to sell our land, our tribal land, because this land is very, very holy to us, sacred. Sacred is holy to us. The shining water that moves in the streams, rivers is not just water but the blood of our ancestors. Now what is meant, or what do you understand by ancestor? A person related to you who lived long time ago. Okay, ancestor, a person related to you who lived a long time ago. Okay, so please understand, it is not that water is blood. No. Okay, it's only personification. He says that the water that flows in the river is not just water but the blood of their ancestors. Got it? If you sell your land, you must remember that it is sacred blood of our ancestors. If you sell your land, you must remember that it is sacred, and you must teach your children that it is sacred and that each ghostly reflection in the clear water of the lakes tells of the events in the life of my people. Okay, so the Chief Seattle says, you should remember that it is sacred. Okay, the land is sacred. Now, if you sell our land, you must remember that it is holy and there is a holy blood of our ancestors. Okay, and he also says you must teach your children that it is sacred and that everything that reflects in the shining, clear shining water is the are the reflections or events of the life of his people. Okay, now what is meant by ghostly reflection? Here it seems unreal or unnatural, maybe frightening because of the spirit of a dead person. Okay, so it is unreal or unnatural. Okay, the waters murmured as the voice of my father's father. The rivers of our brothers quench our thirst. The rivers carry our canoes and feed our children. If we sell you our land, you must remember to teach your children that the rivers are our brothers and yours, and you must henceforth give the rivers the kindness that you would give my brother. So, well, please understand it is not, the waters are murmuring, okay? The flowing water makes a noise, right? So, the voice of the water, the speaker says that it is the voice of his father's father, okay? It is not the water is murmuring, but, the flowing water makes noise, right? So, the speaker says the murmur is the voice of his father's father, and the rivers are our brothers who quench our thirst. Okay, the rivers are our brothers who quench our thirst. Now, what is meant by quench? Satisfy by drinking. Okay, they satisfy our thirst. And the rivers carry our canoes. Canoes are a light, narrow boat with the pointed ends and no eel. Okay, boats. Okay, the rivers carry boats and feed our children. So, the speaker says, if you sell our land, you must remember to teach your children that rivers are our brothers. Okay, they are not just rivers, they are our brothers. Okay, and henceforth, you must give due respect and kindness, show kindness to the river as you show kindness, affection towards your brother, because you consider river as your brother, right? So the speaker says, okay, you must treat the rivers with the kindness, okay, as you treat your brother. The air is precious to the red man, for all things share the same breath. The beast, the tree, the man, they all share the same breath. Now, what is meant by precious? The meaning of precious is of great value, not to be wasted or treated carelessly. So, the air is precious to the red man, and not only to the red man, for all the things that are existing on the land. Okay, because the bees, the trees, the man, all of them share the same air. Okay, all of them breathe the same air. So the Chief Seattle says that the air is the precious one. The white man does not seem to notice the air he breathes. Like a man dying for many days, he is numb to the stench. But if we sell you our land, you must remember that the air is precious to us, that the air shares its spirit with all the life it supports. So the Chief Seattle says the white man does not notice the air he breathes. It's like, a man dying for many days, he is numb to the stench. What is meant by numb? Deprived of physical sensation. Okay, you do not feel any sensation in that particular body. Okay, numb to the stench. Stench is, a strong and very unpleasant smell. He does not smell. He does not feel the air that passes through his nostrils. Okay, So the chief Seattle says, but if we sell our land, you must remember that the air is precious to us. You should remember that the air is precious to us, and that the air shares its spirit with all the life it supports. Okay, it is not only the man is breathing the air. Okay, it supports all the living beings that are existing on the land. So please treat the air as precious. Okay. The wind that gave our grandfather his first breath also receives his last sigh. And if we sell you our land, you must keep it apart and sacred, as a place where even the white man can go to taste the wind that is sweetened by the meadow's flowers. So the chief Seattle says, the wind that gave the first breath to our grandfather even receives the last breath. Okay, and he says, if you sell our land, you must keep it sacred. Sacred is holy, you must keep it apart, separate. Okay, and the chief Seattle says, as a place where even the white can go and taste the wind that is sweetened by the meadow's flowers. So we will consider your offer to buy our land. If we decide to accept, I will make one condition. The white man must treat the beasts of this land as his brothers. I am a savage and do not understand any other way. I have seen thousands of rotting buffaloes on the prairie, left by the white man who shot them from a passing train. So finally the chief Seattle, he decides to agree to sell his land, or his people's land, with one condition. Okay, what is the condition? The white man must treat the beast of this land as his brothers. Okay, the white man has to consider all the beasts that are existing on the land in that particular area, to consider them as his brothers. Okay, as their brothers. He says, I am a savage and do not understand any other way. Now, what is meant by savage? Savage is a member of people regarded as primitive and uncivilized. Okay, simple, uncivilized. I am an uncivilized man and I do not understand any other way. And he says, the chief Seattle says, I have seen thousands of rotting buffaloes. Rotting buffaloes are decaying buffaloes on the prairie. Prairie is, large open area of grassland. A large open area of grassland left by the white man who shot them from a passing train. What do the white man do? As he passes through the train, he shoots the buffaloes and he shots them dead. So the chief Seattle says, I have seen thousands of decaying buffaloes on the large open area. Okay, they are shot by the white man. Clear? I am a savage and do not understand and how the smoking iron horse can be made more important than the buffaloes that you kill only to stay alive. What is man without the beasts? If all the beasts were gone, man would die from a great loneliness of the spirit. For whatever happens to the beasts soon happens to man. All things are connected. So the chief Seattle says that he is an uncivilized man. Okay, he is an uncivilized man, and he says that he does not understand how the smoking iron horse. Okay, now what is meant by smoking iron horse? You see in the picture, right? A steam railway locomotive. Okay, how a smoking iron horse can be made more important than buffalo. Okay, buffaloes that you kill only to stay alive. Okay, and the chief Seattle says, what is man without the beast? Okay, what is the existence? What is the meaning of man without beast? If all the beasts were to be killed, okay, if all the beasts were to be gone, we will all die of loneliness of spirit. Okay, because whatever happens to beast happens to the human being also. We are all interconnected, we are all connected. Clear? Respect. You must teach your children that the ground beneath their feet is the ashes of our grandfathers, so that they will respect the land. Tell your children that the earth is rich with all the lives of our kin. Teach our children what we have taught our children, that the earth is our mother. Okay, so the Chief Seattle says, you must teach your children. The white man has to teach his children that the ground beneath under their feet is, very sacred, because it is the ashes of their grandfathers, their ancestors. So they should respect the land, and the earth is rich with all the lives of their kin. Okay, so the Chief Seattle urges the white man to teach their children to respect the land as their mother. Okay, to consider the earth as their mother. Okay. Whatever befalls the earth befalls the son of the earth. If men spit upon the ground, they spit upon themselves. This we know. The earth does not belong to man. Man belongs to the earth. All things are connected like the blood which unites one family. All things are connected. Whatever befalls the earth befalls the son of the earth. It's clear, right? So whatever befalls is happens. Whatever happens to the earth, it happens to the sons of the earth. Who are sons of the earth? We. Okay. Here the Chief Seattle is urging the white men. He says you have to treat the land as the mother. Okay, and he says if you spit upon the ground, it is like spitting on themselves. The Chief Seattle says if you spit on the ground, it is like spitting upon themselves. Okay, and he says earth does not belong to the man, but man belongs to the earth, and we are all connected like the blood which unites one family. Okay, we are all connected. All things are connected. So whatever happens to the earth happens to the sons of the earth. Okay. Man did not weave the web of life. He is merely a strand in it. Whatever he does to the web, he does to himself. Even the white man, whose God walks and talks with him as a friend to a friend, cannot be exempt from the common destiny. We may be brothers after all. We shall see. Okay, so the Chief Seattle says man did not weave, he did not make the web of life. Okay, he is only a strand in it. What is meant by strand? A single piece of thread. Okay, a single piece of thread. So whatever he does to the web, he does to himself. And even the white man, whose God walks and talks with him as a friend to a friend, cannot be exempt from the common destiny. And we are all brothers and sisters. Okay, we are all brothers and sisters. One thing we know, which the white man may one day discover, our God is the same God. You may think now that you own him as you wish to own our land, but you cannot. He is a God of man, and his compassion is equal for the red man and the white. Okay, so the Chief Seattle says one day the white man will realize, okay, he will discover that the God that they worship is the same God. The God is same for everyone. Okay, and the Chief Seattle says, okay, the white man thinks that he owns God as he owns their land. Okay, the white man is, the Chief Seattle says that, the white man thinks that he owns God as his, as they wish to own their land, but they cannot own God. Okay, because God is God for everyone. He is a God of man, and his compassion is equal for everyone, whether you are red man or white man, you are black man. Okay, so the meaning of compassion is sympathetic, or concern for the suffering or misfortunes of others. The earth is precious to him, and to harm the earth is to heap contempt on its creator. The whites too shall pass, perhaps sooner than all other tribes. But in your perishing you will shine brightly, fired by the strength of the God who brought you to this land and for some special purpose gave you dominion over this land, over the red man. The Chief Seattle says the earth is precious to him. The meaning of precious is, having great importance. So, the earth is precious to him, and to harm the earth is to heap contempt on its creator. So, if we damage the earth, it's like, having a dislike or having no respect on its creator. Now, who is the creator? Creator is a God. Right now the whites too shall pass, perhaps sooner than all other tribes. Okay, so one day or the other all have to perish, all have to die. So he says, but in your perishing you will shine brightly, fired by the strength of the God who brought you to this land and for some special purpose gave you dominion over this land and over the red man. Fine. So what is meant by perishing? Perishing is, causing destruction, ruin, damage, extreme comfort or death. So one day, whether you are red man or white man, all will have to die. All will have to perish. Okay. Now what is meant by dominion? Dominion is having authority, having supreme authority. Fine. God has created all of us in His image and likeness, and He gave us dominion over the creatures that He created. Right? We have the supreme authority, sovereignty over the land. Fine? Do you understand? So the Chief Seattle says, when the whites, perishing time, or at the time of destruction or extreme discomfort when they feel, they will shine brightly, fired by the strength of the God who brought them to this land. And God has given special purpose or the dominion over the land and over the red man. Okay, that's how the red man lived under the authority of the whites, right? The destiny is a mystery to us, for we do not understand when the buffaloes are slaughtered, the wild horses tamed, the secret corners of the forest heavy with the scent of many men, and the views of the ripe hills blotted by talking wires. Where is the thicket gone? Where is the eagle gone? The end of the living and the beginning of survival. What is meant by destiny? Destiny is, the things that will happen in the future. The meaning of mystery is something that is difficult, or impossible to understand or explain. So the Chief Seattle says the destiny, the things that are going to happen in the future, it's very, very difficult to understand. It's a mystery to us because we do not understand when the buffaloes are slaughtered, killed. Okay, the meaning of slaughtered is killed. We do not know when the buffaloes are slaughtered. And the wild horses tamed. What is meant by tamed? Make less powerful. Okay, make less powerful. The secret corners of the forest heavy with the scent of many men, and the view of the ripe hills blotted by talking wires. Now what is meant by blotted? Blotted is kept from being seen or concealed. Okay, kept from being seen, or the meaning is concealed. Okay, so the ripe hills are being concealed, hidden by the wires. Okay, so where is the thicket gone? Now what is meant by thicket? An area of trees and bushes growing closely together. Okay, thicket is an area of trees and bushes growing closely together. And please understand, talking wires are, it is not that wires are talking, but they are telephone wires. Okay, telephone wires. You understand now? Fine. Where is the eagle gone? Where is the eagle gone? The end of the living and the beginning of survival. This is the end of the living and the beginning of survival. Now what is meant by end of living? End, you understand, right? Now what is meant by living? Living is having life, being alive. right? Being active and thriving, vigorous, strong, still existing. So the Chief Seattle says this is the end of the living. Okay, this is the end of the living, which means there won't be no more life. Okay, living is having life. Right now, beginning of survival. Now, what is meant by survival? The state of continuing to live or exist. So the Chief Seattle says this is the end of living and the beginning of survival. Do you understand? Well, students, I believe we have understood. Okay, see you in the next session. Till then, take care. Bye.